guys, it's Inkeater, and I know it's been a week, and you're probably like, where you been? You promised us videos, and I'm all like, I know, it didn't happen. See this face? This is the face of the exhausted person who's been working over 100 and some odd hours that she just does not want to talk about, because then I realize how much life sucks being an adult. And we'd rather not face that reality. Yeah. So that's a thing. 100 and some odd hours of work. Try wrapping your head around that one. You guys probably do a lot more. And if you do a lot more than that, more power to you. Those are the only ones that I bothered to count. Because I don't want to think about the whole big picture. I just want to think about the finish line. Which I originally thought was going to be in December, but then it turns out it's going to be in March. Which is kind of a 3-month difference, and it's kind of a sucky 3-month difference. But we're going to plow on through that, right? Right. So this week for Harry Movie Club, it's an American Werewolf in London, and I had seen this one a while back, way back when. I barely remembered it. I didn't even remember the name of it, to be quite honest, but I'd never put the two and two together. I don't know if that ever happens to you. The movie itself was made in 1981, and it takes place where you have two guys backpacking through the English countryside, and they happen to come across this tavern slash pub. I guess it was a pub because they didn't serve food, right? I don't know how those things work. The locals in there are not too friendly. They're kind of on the standoffish side with a lot of superstitiousness going on. They end up getting scooted out of the bar somehow and out back into the cold, not by choice. And they're told from the very beginning, stay to the road, don't go near the moors, and little do you know, they veer off the path and they're in the middle of, they don't even know where. And then they end up getting attacked by, you guessed it, a wolf. One ends up dying, the other one ends up surviving in a hospital bed in London, and is being told that he was attacked by a crazed lunatic, and the lunatic killed his friend. But the young guy ends up arguing back that no, he was attacked by a werewolf, that this made no sense. No one really buys this story though, because the guy's been out for like 3 weeks and kind of out there and went through a lot of BS. He ends up talking to the nurse lady, which this was the part that I found hilarious, was he ends up hooking up with the nurse. And I'm like, yes, in what world? In what world does this happen? I can totally get behind why most guys had false impressions back in the day of how things worked. So he ends up hooking up with this nurse, and this nurse offers to let this guy that she's just met hang out in her apartment, which I thought was kind of hilarious. It's kind of funny what we accepted as the norm back in the 80s and the 90s. Like, oh, yeah, totally, that's totally cool. Yeah, let's just do that. What a crazy world we lived in, right? So she invites this guy to come stay at her house, live in her house. I'm not too sure. I guess stay for a little while. He ends up staying at this lady's house and turning into the wolf, and that was probably like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I really loved the special effects, especially the hand growing and stretching out into the actual werewolf. There was actually a part in the movie where it looked like he was giving birth. It was just kind of absolutely hilarious, and at that point I think I lost it laughing, which is probably my favorite thing about this movie. It had its perfect little moments of horror and comedy all in one, and the movie just got better from there because this guy ends up going on a killing spree. And mind you, the one part that I didn't say is his friend who passed away is haunting him only because he can't die until the last werewolf is dead, meaning his friend has to kill himself. Throughout the whole movie, he is being confronted by this friend telling him he has to kill himself, and I love how they did the special effects for his friend and how the body was decaying as the movie went on. The one part that I absolutely found hilarious again was the part where they're in a theater, which happened to be one of those theaters where they watch porn on the screen. I thought that part was hilarious, and how you had all the people that he had killed in the theater back there with him. I just lost it laughing. I'm not going to ruin how the movie ends, but I really enjoyed it from beginning to end. I'm probably going to say this about every film that I watch, and that's because I don't watch a lot of movies. So if you want to recommend a movie to me, definitely leave me a comment down below. And yeah. Bye.